How would you feel if you went to the doctor and instead of a prescription for some ointment or pills, you came away with a Spotify playlist? Probably confused, maybe even a little cheated. Sure, music can affect how we feel, helping us get pumped up at the gym or chill out after a long day. But we tend to think of it more as entertainment than medicine. Today, though, that's beginning to change, as cutting-edge research demonstrates how music can play a significant part in treating conditions as serious as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, chronic pain, and PTSD, which sounds amazing, but also a little bizarre. How can the simple act of listening to a song possibly do all that? Well, firstly, listening to a song is far from simple, at least where our brains are concerned. You see, when music reaches our ears in the form of sound waves, it's not treated as one unified thing. Different aspects like volume, pitch, and rhythm are all processed separately in different neural regions. At the same time, memory circuits are activated, recalling what we've heard before and coordinating with our prediction systems to guess what's coming next. Even seemingly unrelated areas like our visual and motor cortices light up. And of course, our pleasure centers, rewarding us with positive feelings. Put simply, even the most straightforward pop song engages our brain in a way that few other things do, which is why there are so many applications of music therapy. Think of this like physio for the brain. Just as physiotherapy identifies weakened muscle groups and strengthens them through exercise, music therapy targets brain regions impacted by different conditions and stimulates them with music. In treating Parkinson's, for example, a steady beat can provide an external timing signal, bypassing damaged motor circuits to help restore smoother movement. But regular rhythms can also engage the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering cortisol and soothing anxiety. Doctors treating Alzheimer's have found that music's uncanny ability to unlock buried memories means it can reconnect patients with a past that seems otherwise lost. And we shouldn't underestimate the power of simply enjoying a good tune, which releases dopamine and natural opioids, reducing the need for painkillers after surgery. This is already impressive, but what if we move beyond just listening? The act of singing, playing, or writing music brings additional brain systems online, creating even more possibilities. Stroke patients who've lost the ability to speak can often still sing because melody is processed differently to speech. And engaging those intact musical circuits can help rebuild damaged language areas. Elsewhere, veterans with PTSD have found that songwriting can calm the brain's threat detection circuits, helping them process traumatic memories, while performing in a group releases oxytocin, helping rebuild social connections that trauma often severs. And you don't need to be Mozart. Even absolute beginners can benefit from joining a choir or banging a drum. Now, obviously, not all kinds of music work in all cases. Pounding techno, while great for an energetic physio session, probably won't help a sleep disorder. But one thing seems to be essential for effective treatment across the board. Patients need to like what they hear. That's actually a pretty big challenge, because it means individuals with the same condition, hearing the same songs, may respond totally differently. Music therapists navigate this by matching tracks to both medical needs and personal taste. But for those of us without a professional curating what we listen to, there's another possibility. Combine health tracking technologies with existing music recommendation algorithms to make personalized, medically informed playlists. This idea is already being explored by several companies, bringing the idea of musical prescriptions closer to reality. Of course, like any kind of treatment, the specifics take some fine-tuning. The way our brains and preferences change over time means that song choices need to as well. What's more, hearing music we don't like can actually backfire, activating the brain's fear center rather than its reward pathways. And even at its most effective, music works best as part of a broader treatment plan. No one's suggesting we replace chemotherapy with Charlie XCX. But still, the more we understand about the profound and measurable effect music has on us and our health, the clearer it becomes that music-based therapies deserve a bigger place in our healthcare systems. In practice, that might take a while, but the good news is there's no need to wait because the incredible effects music has on the brain aren't limited to clinical settings. Those same mechanisms fire every time you press play, and all it takes to make the most of them is to be a little more deliberate about your listening choices, compiling a soundtrack that suits your needs rather than settling for whatever comes on shuffle, or better still, picking up an instrument for yourself. We can even help each other, for example, by playing old records for aging relatives, giving them a chance to flex their memories. With music more accessible than ever, we can all benefit from it, whether we're recovering from surgery or just recovering from Monday.